My name is David, and I work as a product manager for ESL Play and the ESL shop. I started out as a player, like most people do, I guess, that work at ESL, and I enjoyed esports basically from the first moment I played a true multiplayer match. And it was always a great joy of participating in esports tournaments, and the more I got involved in the scene, the more curious I became how everything came together and how it worked. So I looked into volunteering, and I started volunteering for a clan as an editor. I did interviews for their website with their players. At some point, me and a few friends that worked at that clan for editorial, we decided to form our own website and to gain more editorial freedom in the topics that we write about, not just writing about the clan, but being able to go deeper and be critical of certain topics. And yeah, well, we just figured let's do our own website. And after 1 or 2 days, we had about 10,000 users on the website. It was a massive success right from the start. And sponsors started lining up, and we were like, oh, wait a second, these people want to give us money. And we were like, okay, maybe there's more to it than just a hobby. I mean, that was in the mid-2000s, and esports was by far not at the level as it is right now. So we were kind of taken by surprise by the success that we had with a limited amount of work that we put in. Since more sponsors came in, we had advertisement revenue stream in. In the end, a big publishing house came and they bought the website from us. And that was probably the most defining success, where I realized that, okay, this is really a potential career, something that I can do for a living. After we sold the website, ESL came by and they were looking to fill an editorial position. And that's when I received my first salary and started working in a salaried position. And since then, 8 years ago, I work for ESL, and it's been quite a journey. We're in the process of launching ESL Play, which I'm responsible for, and the goal of ESL Play is to bridge the gap between the pro events on the one hand, where only the top elite can play, and the massive amount of people that are playing inside of a game during ranked matchmaking and the individual matchmaking formats that each of the games nowadays provide. And we see there's a wide gap for people that want to go pro, but they don't quite know how to do it. And ESL Play is meant to offer leagues and tournaments that are more serious and more competitive than in-game matchmaking. There's rules to follow, there's certain dates and times that you have to play at, you will face much tougher opponents, and the games will not always be balanced like in in-game matchmaking. You will actually face people that also want to go pro. And we want to allow people the opportunity to face off in a more competitive setting in order for them to grow their skills, to grow their tactics, to grow their team play in team games, to grow together more as a union, and to be able to slowly inch their way up to the professional level. They're not going to be rich from it, but just earning your first $500 paycheck by playing a video game is a massive feeling. It's probably the point in a player's career where they realize, okay, this could be something I could be able to make it. I could be a pro. I could be playing on the large stages at some point. So I think that's going to be the core part of what ESL is offering to the gamers out there in the near future. I think esports is there to stay. Computer games as a medium are not going to go away at any point in the future. So what organizations should you watch out for? Well, you should definitely look at what the publishers are doing. Everybody that develops games for esports is certainly something that you should be aware of, how they are thinking, how they are structuring their individual sport, because esports is not one big whole. It's comprised of several different sports. Each game is its own thing in the end. So looking at that is important, but also looking at the major esports organizations, which is on the one hand the leagues and event organizers like ESL and DreamHack, and on the other hand the big clans. Those are the two main deciding factors in what makes the esports industry. So how do clans operate, what do they do, what makes a clan successful, and also what do the leagues do, how do they structure a game, what happens inside of a game, how is a scene around the game comprised, what are the main hubs of communication, what's happening on social media, what's happening on Reddit, what are the big scene websites. You should just be involved in the scene as much as possible and figure out who is doing what around your game of choice.